Have you ever wanted to paint with watercolor but felt like you didn't know where to start? This is for you. These mini Mondays are simple, 15 to 20-minute watercolor lessons where we slow things down, go step by step, and create something beautiful in a short amount of time. So grab your brush, let's settle in, and let's make something you'll be proud of. Today we are painting some toast with some blueberry jam. So I am going to be using Dr. P.H. Martin's Radiant line of liquid watercolor. I'm using Daffodil Yellow, Alpine Rose, Saddle Brown, and Violet. But just use whatever you have, and we'll get started. Oh, I'm also going to be using a white paint pen to put in some of the highlights. Okay, let's grab a pencil, and we're going to draw this toast. It's going to be kind of like a diamond, so we're going to start here. And then kind of go like this, and then up. And it can be kind of misshapen because toast is misshapen. Pieces of bread are. So, okay, now you're going to draw a line from this corner down, this corner down a little bit further than this one, and then this one a little bit shorter. Okay, and then connect them to the center. Okay, and then we are going to put in a border at the top of the toast here. So just like a thin little perimeter. And again, it does not need to be smooth because toast has a lot of texture. Okay, and now we're going to put in the jam. So start up here and just kind of make like a wavy puddle. And then we'll have some drip off the side here. So come bring it straight down and then make a little puddle. Okay, I'm just going to erase these lines right here. Okay, with watercolor, we always start with the lightest colors first. So we're going to put in the lightest colors of the toast. So I'm going to take my round number 6 paintbrush. You can use whatever paintbrush you have. And I'm just going to mix the yellow with a little bit of brown. Oh, that's purple. And then I'm going to add quite a bit of water so that it's pretty transparent. Okay, and then I'm just going to fill in all of the toast. It's okay if you get a little bit of yellow on the puddle of jam. We'll be painting over that, so it won't matter. And of course, if I'm going a little fast, you can pause the video, catch up. Okay, now while that is drying, we're going to move to the jam, and I'm going to mix my pink and my purple together, and I'm going to add a little bit of brown too to kind of mute it. So it's really dark, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some color over here and add a little bit more brown. And I'm going to put the lightest layer on the jam. I'm being careful around the yellow because I don't want it to bleed into it. It bled a little bit right there, but it's not very dramatic, so it's okay. I'll go back in and kind of fill in this edge once the yellow is a little more dry. But just fill this in. So I thought this would be a cute little card if you ever wanted to invite somebody to breakfast. I was thinking about breakfast quotes, and I was reminded of Nacho Libre when he asks, oh man, I can't remember her name, but he says, "I was wondering if you would like to join me in my quarters this night for some toast." So maybe you could write that on the back of this card, give it to somebody. Okay. So now we're just going to let that dry, and we're going to go back to the yellow. Now we're going to do a medium shade of yellow. So yellow with more orange in it. I mean, more brown in it. So about like that. Okay, and then I don't want my brush just too wet. I want to be able to just use the tip of the brush, and I'm going to make these little strokes that are just kind of giving some texture to the toast. Just going to kind of go around. We're going to leave a little bit of yellow before we get to that next border line. So I'm just kind of going like this. Okay, and then we're going to use this color, and we're just going to basically outline what we drew with little, short little strokes, kind of like a tapping motion, kind of like dotted lines almost, along the outside here, and then we'll do the inside border as well. Okay, now I'm doing this inside border. So right now, this is what I would call the messy middle, where there's not much dimension and it doesn't look that great. But once you put in the really dark darks and the really light lights, it really makes your painting look 3D. Okay, now we're going to put in some medium brown kind of along the edge here. And you want to leave a few little peekaboos of the lightest yellow. Now we're going to let that dry and move back to the jam and do the medium toned layer of jam. So it'll be just a little bit darker than that first one. Okay. Oh, actually, before we do that, I'm going, since this is dry, I'm going to draw some berries in here. Okay, now I'm going to use the medium tone and just kind of outline it a little bit, and then just put in kind of like what we did around here. We left a little bit of the lights peeking through. right here on the edge, I'm going to make that dark, and then down here. Okay, that. Now we're going to let that dry, and we're going to go back and put in the darks on the toast. I'm going to take mostly brown and then just a little bit of yellow. It'll be about like that. Okay, I'm going to put some dark brown in this corner along this edge. And I have it pretty wet, so it's kind of moving about, okay? It's flowing on the paper is what I mean. Okay, and then at this front corner, okay, and then along the bottom here. Not all the way across, just a few dark spots here, and then toward the back too. I'm going to put some in this corner. Okay, and then a little bit along here. And then we're going to go to this left-hand corner, and we're going to add some more dark along here. And then to the front corner. Okay. And then bring some of the dark here. And then put a few little spots on the inside of the toast. Okay, now we're going to move back to, oh, I'm going to put a little bit more brown actually right here. Now we're moving back to the dark in the jam. It's going to be mostly purple, the little pink, and some brown. Okay, and then you're going to make the shape of your berries, and this is pretty dark right now, so I'm just doing kind of the outline, and I'm going to rinse my brush, and then I'm going to blend it just a little bit. Okay, and now we're going to put in some of this dark around the perimeter of the jam. Kind of in the middle here. It's kind of little hints of light showing through still, the lighter color. Okay, and then put some dark right here, and then down in here. Okay, and then this is really going to pop here in just a minute when we put in the white highlights. Just kind of blending these a little bit more. Okay, and for time's sake, I'm just going to use my little blow dryer and dry the purple. Okay, now taking my white paint pen, I'm going to start adding some highlights. The light is coming from this direction, so the highlights will be mostly on this side. In this paint pen, usually I need to put in 2 layers of the white because it turns kind of translucent when I put it down. So just adding a little more there. And you can just use regular white paint and use a tiny paintbrush. But there you have it. You have some toast. All right, and then just want to see if there's any final touches of anything else that we need to do. I think I'm going to put a little bit more brown on this edge. And then I will sign it because it's an original piece of art. And there you have it. You have toast in just a few minutes. So take a look at what you just created. Maybe 15, 20 minutes ago, this may have felt intimidating, but now it's sitting in front of you. That's the beauty of slowing down and going step by step. If you painted this with me, tag me in the post. Most people think watercolor is too hard, but it becomes doable when you have guidance and a calm place to practice. If you love this, we do this every single week inside the Watercolor Way. Inside the membership of the Watercolor Way, you get full-length lessons, replays, and you can paint along with me anytime. And you have a private community of people who are learning, growing, and encouraging each other. It's not about being perfect. It's about building confidence and actually enjoying the process. If you'd like a weekly rhythm of creativity, I would love to see you inside. The link is below, or go to thewatercolorway.com. And until next Monday, keep painting.